are gathered here today to talk about something that I feel like is very, very important to discuss, especially after a video that I put out recently going over Supergirl and just like all these like toxic ass like content creators who, well, a lot of people will consider grifters, and just basically my perspective on it and just how it is ruining entertainment for everyone, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly, especially people who take part in those, especially people like us who, if you're watching this video, most likely you really do love movies and shows and you like to talk about it, you like to hear other people talk about it. It's important to you, right? And how these people in these communities are really creating a toxic environment. And I want to talk about it because I've gotten like a few comments. Majority of the comments I get are positive, but then there's some of them where it's just like straight up like annoying. And this is something I wanted to kind of address, is this whole mindset around when people like talk about a grifter, or like how people get weirdly defensive when that word is brought up. I get like it could be like one of those other words where I feel like it's being overused or just thrown out at people or whatever the case might be. But I think that the thing that bothers me is it's something that I've seen a lot happening, or like just in general around this discussion. And to be more specific, my biggest issue is when people are making it seem like you having a negative opinion on something is like people, if somebody calls you out on something or whatever, they want to pin it on, oh, you're trying to say that because this person has a negative opinion, they're a grifter. And it's just like this whole idea of, oh, we can't not like something because if we don't like something and now we're a grifter and now we're racist. And it's like, no, people. And I think this is something that is annoying, is because a lot of these people that defend these content creators, it's like, it's interesting because when I read these comments, majority of them would never ever discuss the racism that I was addressing in the videos, or the actual problems with these creators. And the issue that I'm actually talking about is not the negative opinions, it's the racism, the misogyny, the bigotry of like all of it. That is the issue, not the negative like perspective at all. Like, you can have your own opinion about whatever the fuck, I don't really care. My issue is when there is bigotry involved, and obviously it's being pushed in a way that a lot of people try to say it's not about the money, they don't care about the money, it's just, it's like, what? No, there's a reason why negativity makes money. That's just what it is. And these people, they feed off of that because they can, and there is a market for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easier to make money off of something, you know, being negative or having a negative take about something than for it to be positive. I'm not saying that like positivity, that you have to like, you know, be negative all the time or whatever to make money, but I'm just saying that that's what catches people's attention. So my thing is, it's just that like what bothers me is that nobody's actually addressing the real issue. It's more so about, we need to protect our freedom of speech, and I don't have to like anything, and I don't believe in toxic positivity. And it's like, that's not what people are talking about. People don't give a fuck. Okay, you want to be negative and have a negative take, fine, but why be racist? Why be misogynistic? Why be homophobic? And why do all these different types of things that are harming people more than anything? And that's what I'm addressing, is the fact that you never want to address the real issues, but then you want to make it seem like you guys are being attacked. Like, come on. And it's something that I've noticed, because it's also the content creators too pushing this idea of, they're calling me a grifter or whatever, like, because I don't like this. But it's like, that's not what it is. And they know that's not what it is. But the thing is, for the audience, they want to feel like they're being attacked, or that people are attacking them. So what are they going to say? Oh, it's because we have a negative take that people are calling us racist and stuff. When obviously, no. And I think a lot of people who follow these creators know that these creators are actually bigots, actually racist. But the thing is that when they gloss over that and just say, oh no, it's actually because they just don't like that, and people are mad because they don't like it. And it's like, no, you know what the actual issue is. That's why you're not addressing it. You're not addressing the racist shit that they say, or the commentary that they make that is obvious that it is toxic and terrible, and that a lot of people who are within their communities are also sharing those same ideals and opinions. That's not okay. And these are the same people that talk about, that are you would consider to be anti-woke. And the thing is about woke, even though it's pretty much been colonized by these people, is that woke is not even a bad thing. You know what I mean? And a lot of these people try to make it seem like, oh, woke is pretty much includes everybody except for white heterosexual men. It's for everybody else but white heterosexual men. So they've excluded themselves from it and say this is an attack against us. So anything that's considered to be woke is pretty much everything against white heterosexual men, and that they're the ones who are being attacked, when that's not what actual wokeism even is. Woke is for everyone. It's not about excluding anybody. And that's the thing that pisses me off, is that you're not even using the word. Like, even though the way that they're using it is even incorrect in the first place, if we were to give it a modern context, as far as woke being something that is advocating for equality and things like that, and bringing awareness to certain issues, whether you're a minority of some sort of something like that, it's not a bad thing. Woke isn't about anti-white. It's like, it could be, I would say it's more anti-white supremacist, or white, or not even white in that sense, but like against the people, against different communities, like whoever and whatever is against equality and fairness for people and shit like that. I don't really know how else to put it, but like basically it's not about excluding white men, heterosexual men, and that's how they paint it to be. And so I wanted to clear it up, because it's kind of like, it's annoying. I'm like, if people are being like, again, like anti-white heterosexual men or whatever, that's not woke. That's not what woke even means. I wouldn't consider those people to be woke. Because anything that's considered woke is fairness for everybody. Like, it's not about excluding anybody or getting one up on anybody. It's about everybody deserves to have a space to be seen, to be heard, and to be respected. So I just wanted to say that, because that's the thing. But, you know, these content creators, you know, throw that word out like it's a slur, and it really pisses me off, because that's not what my people created that word for. And it's annoying for it to be painted as something that is derogatory. It pisses me off. And so to get back to the topic, it's just that, like, a lot of people, like, you don't even realize that you are allowing these content creators to get away with the shit that they're doing. Being racist, being misogynistic, being a whole bigot. You're supporting that by continuously pushing this narrative that, oh, we need to protect people having an opinion because this is what they're doing. They're attacking them for having an opinion. No. They're being attacked for being a freaking bigot. That's what they're being attacked for. And we need to address that issue. So it's annoying, because these same, like I said before, these same content creators will push that whole idea of, if I say I don't like this, they're going to call me a bigot. They're going to call me a grifter. They're going to call me this. It's like, because you actually are. And the fact is that it's very obvious and right in your face. It's like, it's not dumb. That's why I kind of want to not call people stupid, but I'm just like, it's right there. Like, they're literally not even hiding the fact of them having these certain opinions. And I think some people are just willingly being ignorant. There's some people that know, but they don't want to call it what it is, because they support these people, because they have the same type of opinions, which is why they go so hard to support these people and like attack anybody who speaks against them, because you have the same opinion, but you don't want to admit the fact that you're a bigot as well. You want to make it, mask it as, oh, well, they just have an opinion, and whatever, they're not a grifter, they just have a negative opinion, or whatever the case might be. Or like, you guys are always framing anybody with a negative opinion to be a grifter, and I'm like, that's not what it is, and you're not even addressing what the actual issue is. Or we're going to talk about the fact that this person has these type of perspectives and views that are actually dangerous and damaging. You know what I mean? Like, it's disgusting. And so that's what I wanted to talk about, is that, like, that shit needs to stop. And that's why so many people are speaking up against it, is because that is what's making the whole thing negative. Like I said in my video, I was like, it's not even about like having a negative opinion. It's about, it's that's not what it is. Like, I feel like whatever your opinion is, fine. I feel like everybody should have a space to be honest. I said that in the video. It should be a space where you can have different opinions, and it'd be a safe space to do that, rather than it being toxic. And the reason why it makes things toxic within their communities is because it's not about the actual content or about having a negative opinion or whatever the crap it is. It's about spreading negativity and toxicity and spreading that bigotry, those ideals, which is why you can look at any comment section of those content creators that would be considered grifters and see within the communities the type of just disgusting shit that they say. I don't really have Twitter, but I've seen the type of stuff that they put on Twitter. And it's just kind of like, well, I don't have, like I said, I don't have Twitter, but I see people talking about it and bringing up things that these people, discussions that they're having with their communities, and seeing the things that their communities say and seeing the things that these creators say. And it's just like, clearly they are a harbor for these racists and bigots for a reason. Why? Because those are the people that's going to give them, they're profiting from that as well. And so like that's what I wanted to address, is because it's very infuriating. And don't come in my comment section with that shit. If you're a racist, fine. If you want to support a racist and bigots, fine, you could do that. I don't care. But one thing we're not going to do is not call it what it is. And that's the thing. Like, if you're going to support these people, fine, stand on that 10 toes deep. If that's what you think, fine, but stand on it and know exactly what the fuck it is without trying to like be a coward and say it's something that it's not. If people are getting mad about somebody not liking something, am I automatically just saying that their opinions aren't valid because it's negative? That's not right. It's not right. So that's what I wanted to say. You know, even for me on this channel, there's a lot of things that I don't like, and I talk about it. Like, I just did a video on the live action Avatar series and giving reasons why I don't really like it. I don't really care for it. And it's just like, that's my opinion. I feel like it would be a hot take, the things that I have to say about it. But it's just like, that's my opinion. And if anybody were to tell me that my opinion isn't valid because it's negative, that would piss me off, because it's like, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm not around here spreading hate. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just sharing my opinion, which is what it's about, to have discourse, to have conversation, to be able to express what you think and what you feel without being judged for it. You know, that's how it's supposed to be, but it's not supposed to be a situation where if you don't feel the same way that they do, then, because that's literally what their community is. So that's why I don't understand why people try to make it seem like the content creators that we talk about and the groups that we talk about have some type of safe space where you can have a different opinion. Because let's just say they're bashing something, and then you have a different opinion, like where you actually like something that they don't like, and you mess around and say that you like it, bruh, don't let them figure that out. Don't let them find that out. So it's just kind of like, the thing is that people should have their own opinion, be able to speak on that in a safe space, and they're not creating a safe space within this community, which is the problem. And that's what I was talking about. I'm all for having your own opinion, being able to say what you want when you want to. That's what it's about. That's how it's supposed to be. But without having to be racist and a whole bigot to do that. Like, there's no reason for that. They're using the community to, not community, but like, I guess you could say the commentary, movie commentary, whatever space, to spread that bigotry. And it's sick. And people like just follow along with it and try to justify it. But the thing is, like, if you're going to justify it, fine, but let's call it what it is. Okay, let's not try to act stupid and say, oh, it's just because of it. Nah, that shit pisses me off. And so do the content creators that say that as well. And if people are doing that, saying that they're bigot or whatever because they have a negative view on something, and they're not being racist or anything like that in their content, that's different. But when you have blatant racism and bigotry in your content, and it's very clear that you actually are a racist and a bigot, I don't want to hear shit from you, because you actually are exactly what it is. Like, come on. And so that's my personal opinion. I wanted to address that because it does piss me off. Sorry for the cussing, but it's actually very frustrating, actually. It's very annoying. But with that being said, I just want to make that quick video and just put my thoughts out there and just call this shit out. Like, my channel isn't necessarily about calling these people out per se. Like, I'm not gonna make my whole channel about that, but I do want to use my voice to say something, because it's ridiculous. So yeah, bye.